From Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium in Tucson, Arizona, this is Sunbelt College Baseball Summer League Features Game. Hello, this is Alan Scott, and thank you for being with me for the webcast of the soon-to-start game between the BNL Rockets and the Tucson Champs. This will be the third of 4 meetings scheduled between these two teams. Both clubs are coming off wins. The most noteworthy win would be that of the Tucson Champs. The Champs have fought their way out of the cellar, but they're still 6 games below 500. However, they upset the Cochise Stars last night 5-0. Right after the Stars had scratched their way into an undisputed place in the league at second place. The BNL Rockets had been on a 4-game winning streak before losing to the Stars in that fight for second, but got back in the W column 5-1 over the Rincon Knights. In head-to-head meetings this year, it has been all BNL over the Champs. In the first game, it was 20-3 in favor of the Rockets. And the second game, the Champs tightened things up just a bit, but still lost 3-1. The other games scheduled for the South Fields of Kino Sports Complex tonight are Old Pueblo Kings, struggling through an 8-game losing streak, trying to get a win over Team Tucson, a team on a 2-game winning streak. The other contest will find the league-leading Aztecs against the cellar-dwelling Rincon Knights. In a minute or two, I'll check out Monday's scores, look at the current standings, and get tonight's game started. But first, I'd like to ask you to hear about the Sunbelt College Baseball League sponsors and ask you to support them as they support us. We encourage you to do business with these sponsors, but even if you don't, please at least let them know that you appreciate their support of the Sunbelt College Baseball League and this webcast of the games. Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Firestone Complete Auto Care, Chewy's Mesquite Broiler at 22nd and Calm, Elite Sporting Goods, Pima County's Kino Sports Complex, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Cazal Fire Protection Company, Stop and Go Driving School, Goliath Auto Sales, the Rincon Financial Group, Jimmy John's Restaurants, and by Best Western Tucson International Airport Hotel and Suites. Just a quick note, if you would like to see any of the games webcast this season, just go to YouTube, search the Alan Scott channel, that's A-L-L-E-N, Scott with 2 T's, Alan Scott channel. Click on the icon and scroll down to the game that you would like to see. Checking on what's happening around the league tonight, as we mentioned, BNL Rockets and Tucson Champs right here at Kino Stadium. We also, out on the South Fields, have the Old Pueblo Kings and Team Tucson. The Aztecs will be taking on the Rincon Knights. On Monday evening, it was this same BNL Rockets team with a 5-1 victory over the Rincon Knights. The Aztecs, now 12-13 on the year, got a 14-4 win over the Tucson Champs. And the Team Tucson beat the Cochise Stars 5-0, as we mentioned. A couple of changes in the standings. The Aztecs continue to be number 1, 2.5 game back. The BNL Rockets and the Cochise Stars once again tied up. The Rockets on a 1-game win streak, while the Cochise Stars lost one yesterday. In the 4th spot, Team Tucson, 8-6 on the year, 4 games out of first place, but they are on a 2-game win streak. In 5th spot, the Tucson Champs, 5-11, 8 games back. In the 6th spot, Old Pueblo Kings, 4-11. They're 8.5 out. And as I mentioned, they are fighting it out through an 8-game losing streak. And in 7th position, the Rincon Knights, 3-12 on the season. They are 9.5 games out. Looking forward to Thursday's schedule, and we'll be right here with the webcast starting at approximately 6:50, give or take a minute or two. It'll be the Cochise Stars in the stadium against the Old Pueblo Kings. And then out on the South Fields, it will be Team Tucson and the BNL Rockets. Couple of games to be on the teams to be on the watch out for. We'll talk about them in just a second. Got to keep our eyes in all directions here as the Lone Ranger up in the broadcast booth. Let's look at some of the players you might be listening for in the B&L Rockets. Jorge Bajorquez is the shortstop. Kiko Romero was behind the plate last night and unfortunately got his bell rung. He'll be out in center field tonight. Seth Nager is also a name to watch for, and Tyson Coleman doing a fine job this year. For the Tucson champs, Luis Zamorano and Nathan Baez are up towards the top of the statistics in the league as we move along towards the All-Star break, which will be coming up here on July 4th, and it's going to be one outstanding evening, an opportunity for you to come down and enjoy fireworks shows and all kinds of good happenings going on here at the Kino Sports Arena. There are $4 tickets that are on sale. And along with those $4 advance sale tickets, you have an opportunity to get free parking with that. They're available at Pizza Hut, Cactus Bowl, and a couple of other locations around the area. So you stop by and pick up those tickets. They expect a crowd of 8,000 to 10,000 here. So you want to get down here early. The Dollar Dog Night, we'll have games and prizes and giveaways and things like that. And all that action happening on July 4th. Gates open at 5. 6:30 will be the ball game. It's only going to be 7 innings so that you can enjoy a fireworks show that'll be starting at about 9 o'clock, give or take, after the ball game. Our national anthem. We're about set to go here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium, and we'll kind of set the scene for you here. 7 o'clock, and the sun beginning to head over our left shoulder. The third baseline is left field, or towards the left, rather. Straight away left field, it's 375. Right field, same number. On the corners, it's 340. In the gaps, it's 390, and straight away 405. Cole Altier is on the mound to start things off for the champs. We have had some success in getting together the statistics and putting them together, and still working on getting that together with what we have here in the stadium. So at least in the beginning, we'll just be talking about averages that these particular players have come up with in Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. As we start out each ball game, first base and second base and right field in the sunshine. Now as the sun begins to dip behind the superstructure of the stadium, they'll get some relief. But in the beginning, they kind of have to shade their eyes and hope for the best. The center fielder, which will be Ricky Martinez, also is in the sun field, but he is not looking west. He's looking more southwest, and that takes him somewhat out of harm's way. John Gross behind the plate tonight. Rod Allen is out on the bases, and we're about ready to go. Jorge Bajorquez will lead things off for the B&L Knights. And Bajorquez went 2 for 4 last night in a game, or last time in the stadium in a game against the Aztecs. As he steps in, we'll take a check on Bajorquez in his last outing here. He went 2 for 4 in that one as well. To the plate, on the corner at the knees for a called strike. Checking the infield, Conboy is at third for the Tucson champs. Nathan Baez at short will catch second and first in a second. Down low for a ball, 1-1. Zamorano is at second base, and Campillo, Robert that is at first base. Will check the outfield with a 1-1 pitch headed this way. Top of the first inning, swung on and fouled off to the right side. In the outfield for the Tucson champs, Mikey Villa, Ricky Martinez in center field, and Elijah Hart in right field. And, of course, Campillo, Zamorano, and Hart are in the Sun fields right now. Oh, boy, almost got one knocked off the noggin there, and the count goes 2-2. Wind is blowing in its typical manner from the left corner to the right corner, so it really doesn't aid anybody unless they're slicing one to right field. This one swung on, hit out towards Baez. Baez on the second hop, throws it to first a little bit low, but Campillo gets down to get it, and we have recorded the first out of the ball game in the top of the first inning. And now bring up Trey Mesa. Mesa, in his appearances in the stadium, is batting .214. Now, that may not be fair to him because he has some other statistics out in the south field, and we'll try to line them up as we move along here through the ball game. Inside corner at the knees for a called strike. So Altier, first two batters, first pitch strike, and that's always what a pitcher wants to have. Puts them in control of what's going on. Hammered into the ground and foul to the right side. So Trey will find himself in a hole 0-2. Mesa last night was 1 for 2. B&L in the ball game last night won it 5-1, and that one was a looking strike for the second out of this, the top of the first inning. First strikeout for Altier, and that will bring the third hitter in the order up here, and that will be Kiko Romero. Romero got his bell rung last night and had to leave the game in the top of the first inning. So he is a strong contender for all-star selection, batting .483 just here in the stadium. Could be doing even better in the south fields as well. Called strike, so once again, Altier getting that first pitch strike in, and that is going to serve him well all the way along the line. Wrapped right at the second baseman, a nice soft line drive to Zamorano, and he picks it off for the third out of the inning, and 3 up, 3 down, nothing across in the top of the first inning, and we will check the number of pitches. No hits in the inning, and after a half inning of play, it is the B&L Knights nothing and the Tucson champs coming up. Cazal has been a leader in all aspects of fire protection since 1982. Cazal Fire Protection serves both home and business locations by providing design, planning, and management of your fire protection needs. Cazal has an extensive knowledge of fire protection, and they work very hard to keep their fine reputation. Look online to find Cazal Fire Protection Company, first in quality, serving with pride. Off to the bottom of the first inning, nothing across in the top of the first. Jacob Federico will be the extra hitter. They do put 10 in the lineup here in this instructional collegiate league. First pitch to him by Adam Moraga is outside for a ball. Federico will be followed by the center fielder Martinez and then the second baseman Samorano. Next pitch also misses outside, and the count goes to 2-1. Federico, not a lot of success here in the stadium, batting 182 as he steps in there. Way outside, and will go to ball 3. Checking the infield for the B&L Rockets, it's Lopez at third, Bajorquez at short. Wiltshire, the pitcher last night, is at second base, and Evan Falwell is at first. We'll take a look at the outfield here in just a second. Had a notion, did not swing, and that will be a 4-pitch walk, and the leadoff hitter is on. Ricky Martinez will be the next hitter. As we check the outfield, Trey Mesa is in left, Kiki Romero in center, and Ryan Graybosch is in right. Behind the plate is Martin Rodriguez, and on the mound, Adam Moraga. So Moraga has dug himself just a slight hole here as he's put the first runner on. And that will bring up Martinez. Next pitch, that's 5 balls in a row now. Martinez stepping in there, in the stadium batting average 308. First and second still in the sun. Outside corner for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. The right fielder Graybosch is now in the shadows, so the only one having to contend with the sun at the moment is Wiltshire at second base. The runner goes. The pitch is not swung on. Rodriguez can't grab the handle. The pitch is a ball, and the base is stolen. So right away, a runner in scoring position after a walk and a ball that the catcher could not get a handle on to get to second base. Down low, probably swung at a ball, and the count goes to 2-2. Kiko Romero relatively short in center field. and right field, Graybosch also on the short side, not in height and in depth from home plate. This one swung on and bounced out to Bajorquez at short. He looks the runner back to second and gets it over to first for the first out of the bottom of the first inning. Runner stays at second, and that will bring up Luis Samorano. Samorano, in his appearances here in the stadium, is batting .286. Samorano 4 for 14. Last night he was, the last game here in the stadium also against B&L, he was 0 for 4. Outside corner for a called strike. All the infielders have shortened up slightly to be able to try to move the ball to whatever base they need to as soon as they can. This one fouled off the end of the bat, and Samorano, the second baseman for the Tucson champs, is in the hole 0-2. First baseman Falwell and Wiltshire at second, back into the sunshine as it kind of dances between the roof of the second deck and down below. The runner is going, a soft line drive or ground ball to third base and back to first, get there in time. So the out is recorded at first base for the second out, but on the run was Federico on what apparently would have been a hit and run, and he comes all the way around from second base. Pretty bang-bang play. Very tough for Lopez to get a hold of that ball and get it to first base with any kind of speed. And the immediate return throw to home by Falwell was just a shade late. And so Samorano gets a run batted in. First pitch is a ball to Nathan Baez. Baez stepping in there, batting .417 in his appearances here at Kino Stadium. The 1-0 pitch on the way, fouled off to the right side. Putting the leadoff man on, without regard to how they get on, elevates the opportunity for a score in that inning quite a bit. Don't remember exactly what that percentage is. Outside corner for a called strike, 1-2. It's amazing to look at the Elias Book of Baseball records because they have records about how many strikes you can get after a fly lands on the ball, and I'm not exaggerating by a whole lot. This one wrapped one hop past Bojorquez into left center field for a base hit. So one in and one on now with 2 outs, and Robert Campillo, the first baseman, will step in there. Robert went downtown to the tune of about 390, right over that 375 sign. The ball landed right up near the flagpole just to the right of the scoreboard. And I realize here with our single focus camera, a little bit tough to be able to get a feel for all of that. So that's why we do a little bit more descriptive discussions here than we would if it was just a TV performance. Swinging strike, first strike. Trying to track down the overall statistics that are around, and one of the Air Force helicopter coming by. This one hit into right field. It's going to get into the corner. On his horse is Baez, rounding second, coming to third, and he is waved home. So a double with 2 outs, and a second run comes across as Baez, not having to worry about whether that ball might have been caught or not, which there was no chance. But the point is, with 2 outs, he gets to rumble right away, not worrying about anything else but getting around, and the double into the right field corner winds up with a run batted in for Campillo, and a 2-0 deficit for the BNL Rockets right now, as the Tucson champs are getting a bat on a ball and taking a couple of pitches to get a walk to start things off. The first pitch to Manny Villa, who is the designated hitter tonight, flies high for a ball. Manny also having some trouble. Next pitch swung on and missed. Here in the stadium, he's only batting 182. Of course, this is only based on like 3 or 4 appearances here in the stadium. We have games every night except Wednesday and Sunday, high and inside, 2-1. Two balls and a strike. This one hit out towards Bojorquez. He one-hands it. Off-balance throw to first is a little up the line, but grabbed by Falwell, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning, but not before a couple of runs do come across. And after 1 full inning of play, it is the Tucson Champs 2 and the BNL Rockets nothing. Firestone Complete Auto Care is your go-to tire store in the greater Tucson area. Find the right tires online or in-store. There are 5 locations: 7950 East Speedway, 4800 block of East Sunrise, 290 West Wetmore Road, 3501 East Broadway, and 2400 block of North First. Really doesn't matter which of the Firestone Complete Auto Care locations that you go to. Whichever one you pick, you will not be disappointed. Preston Clifford stepping in for BNL, 3 up and 3 down. First pitch, he rifles one right at Conboy at third base, and the line out. First pitch swinging will be the first out of the top of the second inning. In that first inning, 3 up and 3 down. Only 10 pitches thrown by Cole Altier in that inning. Ryan Graybosch is in there batting .333 here in the stadium. Misses low for a ball. Graybosch .333 in the stadium. Overall, he is .371. Takes a second pitch not over the plate, and it goes 2-0. Big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike. Graybosch in right field tonight. He was scheduled for first base last night, but when Kiko Romero went down with an injury, they moved him to right field, brought in the first baseman to catch, and got somebody else at first base. 3-1. Down low for a ball. First walk given up by Altier. He's gotten 1 strikeout, that in the first inning, and that'll bring up Jesus Lopez. Lopez in the stadium batting .364. A little bit lower in all games, .333. Moved to first base, not in time. Problem was we had electronic scoring at each of the 3 game sites that go on each of the game days. Hit solidly down and fouled the left side. We purchased the system from Sports Illustrated, and then they turned around and sold it to somebody else. And in doing so, somehow or other, the programming got messed up, and the cumulative stats have been, they haven't been coming in at all. So one of our technical people had to sit there all day and all night and enter statistics. And the reason they do that is because these college coaches that send their players this way, second pitch is swung on and hit pretty much in the same location, foul left side. 0-2 for Jesus Lopez. To continue the thought, college coaches that assign their players or get their players to go to these wood bat leagues depend heavily on the statistics that their players produce. Quick move to first base, almost caught Graybosch leaning, but he got back in. A little bit of dirt under the belt there that he shakes loose and comes back out for a marginally decent leadoff of first base. 0-2 pitch. This is a time to go because the pitcher generally throws one out of the strike zone, which he did, in fact, at that time. But Graybosch is not known for his wheels, so he stays put at first base. Nobody is in a sun field now as the sun has gone behind the second deck. This one lifted foul to the right side, probably going to make the seats down below us, and it does. So the 5th pitch of the at-bat is coming up here with a count of 1-2. BNL Rockets went 3 up and 3 down in the first inning. They got a tiny bit of a threat here with a runner on first and 1 out. Another quick move to first and even closer. Altier is showing that he has a pretty good move. Remember a kid named Aaron West up in the Far West League had the fastest right-handed move to first base I have ever seen. And I'm talking about professionals. This one headed towards left center, hustling over and diving at the ball is Martinez, and he can't come up with it. The throw to third base is not in time, and I doubt very seriously if they will give him an error on that because Ricky had to go a long ways to get a hold of it. Graybosch had to hold up and almost got nailed at third going around, but he was able to get there. So runners on first and third now with only 1 out, and Evan Falwell, the first baseman, steps in there. Falwell 308 here in the stadium. Overall is 216, so he does a little bit better in the stadium. First pitch to him is a ball. On deck hitter is Tyler Wiltshire, who really threw an outstanding game yesterday. Came away the winner 5-1. Was on the mound for BNL. Outside corner for a called strike in the expanded Sun Belt League college strike zone here. They want the batters to swing. They don't want to have them sit there and watch balls go past them all the time. 1 ball and 1 strike. High fastball gets right past Falwell. 1-2. This would be kind of a critical out because then the infielders could drop back a little bit. Middle infielders are at double play depth. First and third would be looking to check the runner and or come home if it comes directly to them. Another quick move to first base. Cole Altier showing that move pretty early, and I think maybe he might be well advised to throw a cream puff over there a couple of 3 times until he really needs to get somebody out. To the plate, hit straightaway center field. Martinez on his horse. It's going over his head and will bounce off the wall. 1 run will score. Another one coming around third. A second will score. And a 2 RBI double is racked up by Evan Falwell. So Falwell gets a 1 out, 2 RBI double. Coming around to score from third is Graybosch, and Lopez all the way around from first, because he was off with the crack of the bat, as it was pretty obvious that Martinez in center field was not going to catch up with it. So 2 runs in, and we're all tied up here at 2-2 in the top of the second inning. Squaring around to bunt is Wiltshire, drops it right at the plate, and that's where it stays in foul territory. So we have a 1 strike count coming up here. All tied up at 2-2. Big swing and a miss. 0-2. 2 runs, 2 hits for both teams. To the plate, 0-2. This one popped up. I think it has enough legs to get back into the stands. It does, in fact, and it bounces off the aluminum shading right in front of us. The aluminum shading comes all the way around the mezzanine level, and it makes a very interesting sound when it whacks off of that. 0-2 will still be the count. Runner at second and 1 out still. This one lifted to the infield, drifting over is Baez, and he will pick it off from his shortstop position after moving just a little bit to his left, and that will be the second out of the inning. Martin Rodriguez will step in. Martin has had one heck of a run here in the stadium. He's batting .462 in his stadium appearances. Not too shabby in the outside fields either. He's .444 out there. So he is having himself a good season. First pitch a ball. Osuna is the on-deck hitter. First base open, 2 outs. Top of the second, hit hard left field. Going back for it is Villa, but he's got a bead on it, and that will record the third out of this, the top of the second inning. 2 runs across for the BNL Rockets, and after 1.5 innings of play, we are all tied up at 2-2. Now, when you want really good Tex-Mex cuisine, go to Chewy's Mesquite Broiler. They're 22nd and Calm. Chewy's knows what Southwestern tastes are all about, and they're there to satisfy. Chewy's on 22nd Street is open until 10 on weeknights and Sundays, till 11 on Fridays, and until midnight on Saturdays. Stop by, enjoy the food, decor, funky decor. You ought to go by and see that if nothing else. Anyway, food, decor, and drinks all your fun time at Chewy's at East 22nd Street and Kalb in Tucson. Bottom of the second inning. Outside corner called strike to the catcher, Fabian Ferreira. He'll be followed by Mikey Villa and Elijah Hart as we go 7, 8, and 9 in the lineup. Cole Altier out there for his second inning of work. Snaps off a slider and catches that outside corner, and Fabian, the catcher, finds himself behind 0-2. This one hit sharply right into the glove with a tremendous jump of Luis Zamorano. Really climbed the ladder and got up there and grabbed that line drive before it had a chance to get to the right center field. May have had enough strength to get all the way out there because it was hit very sharply. But Zamorano really climbed the stepladder and got up there and got it. Mikey Villa will be the next hitter. He's the left fielder tonight for the Tucson Champs. Painting that outside corner again is Cole Altier, and he gets a first pitch strike in. The vast majority of batters, he has gotten that first pitch strike in. Late swing, but fouled off, and 0-2, second time in a row that Cole Altier has been on top of things, 0-2. Mikey Villa has not fared particularly well here in the stadium, has yet to get a hit. First, this pitch is outside, and it goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll try to check here what he's doing in the south fields as well. But in the stadium, not too much. Outside corner misses, and the count goes to 2-2. Swung on, hit to left center field and shallow. Coming on hard is Martinez. This one he finally catches up with and puts it away for a nice play by Martinez. Covered a fair amount of ground to record the second out here. Next hitter, Elijah Hart, with a runner at first base. Oh, he did not get it. My total error, my mistake. I apologize. Looked down to see something on the screen and got caught unaware there, did I not? Off-speed pitch, swung on for a strike, and for the third time in a row, Cole Altier is up 0-2. Elijah Hart, the right fielder tonight. Big swing, and he misses it, and he'll go and sit down. Second out of the inning, and that brings up Sean Conboy. Conboy, the third baseman this evening. And Sean comes in here in the stadium also having a little bit of problem, at least in the ball games that we've seen, has not gotten a base hit. 2 outs, a runner on. First pitch to Conboy is a ball. That's the first pitch ball thrown by Altier here in the bottom of the second inning. This one hit sharply between first and second into right field. Out in right field is going to be Ryan Graybosch, and he picks it up and gets it back into the infield. So the runners will only go up first and second now. A couple of hits recorded here in the inning. And that will take us to the top of the order. Jacob Federico. Jacob got on with a walk, then stole second and came around on an RBI infield out by Luis Zamorano. First of 2 runs scored in that first inning for the Tucson Champs. First pitch to him is a ball. To the plate, hit out towards the second baseman, Wiltshire. He will scoot it over to second base and record the out there. And Federico getting on technically as a fielder's choice, but the 4 to 6 out at second base is the third out, and that will bring up batting positions 2, 3, and 4 the next inning for the Tucson champs. Elite Sporting Goods is a store specializing in equipment and uniforms for all sports. They also do school uniforms, and hey, if you've got a company and need printing or any kind of silk screening, whatever, they've got that too. There is a full range of services, including silk screening, embroidery, heat press, custom printing, banners, and a whole lot more. Elite Sporting Goods is over there on South Campbell at 3640. Stop by, call, or find them on the web, Elite Sporting Goods. We go to the top of the third, all tied up at 2-2. To the plate is Altier. Marco Osuna, the designated hitter and batting in the 10th spot, is up there. He'll be followed by the top of the order. This one lined to right field, and grabbing it on the run is Elijah Hart. So Osuna lines out to right field, first out. In the top of the third, Jorge Bojorquez, the shortstop, will step in, followed by Trey Mesa. Squares around to bunt and gets danced out of the way by an inside pitch. Bojorquez grounded out to the shortstop Baez in the first inning. We are in the top of the third. Swung on and missed, or actually fouled off at the plate, 1-1. Bojorquez 400 here in the stadium. That'll be down just a little bit. This one hit to right field into the corner. Going to be foul into that corner. 340 down there. Just got outside the line, then bounced off the wall. So Elijah Hart will get it back in, and our count will go 1-2 strikes. Bojorquez overall is batting quite a bit lower than he is here in the stadium. He looks at a called third strike, second out of the inning, nobody on, and Trey Mesa will step in there. Left fielder 21, Trey Mesa. Mesa 257 altogether, 214 here in the stadium. So Altier is cruising right along, getting the first two outs. Kind of a half swing, a bunt out in front, grabbing it, Ferreira, and he gets it over to first for the 2-3 third out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down. This is the second time in 3 innings that the BNL Rockets have bowed out gracefully. Well, I don't know how gracefully, but anyway, they bowed out 3 up, 3 down. So after 2.5 innings of play, we're still tied up at 2-2. It needs to be Kino Stadium right here, the 4th of July. Listen to this. A spectacular fireworks show following an all-star 7-inning baseball game. Yes, I said 7 innings, so it's not going to drag on a long time. The game starts at 6:30. The gates open at 5, and you might want to be here right at 5 o'clock because they have dollar hot dogs, giveaways, a kids' fun zone with games, music, and much more. All of this for just $4. Get advance tickets and free parking at Pizza Hut, Food City, or Cactus Bowl. Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium, mark it down, 4th of July. You got to be here. And that fireworks show is no slouch. Last time I was here, that thing ran 25, 30 minutes. It's going to be a great evening. Plan on it. And if you buy an advance ticket, you also get free parking. Those advance tickets at Pizza Hut, Food City, and the Cactus Bowling Alley. Once again, 4th of July, gates open at 5. Game starts at 6:30. And we're going to guess that fireworks happen around 8:30, 9 o'clock. First pitch to Ricky Martinez is outside, and the second one is even farther outside. So 2-0 count to Ricky, leading off the bottom of the third inning. This one off speed just misses inside, and it goes 3-0. Martinez grounded out to the shortstop Bojorquez in the first inning. That's down low, and it gets away from Rodriguez. He hustles over to corral it so that Martinez does not launch his way to second base. Luis Zamorano, the second baseman for the Tucson champs, they scored first, 2 in the bottom of the first inning. They were countered by 2 in the top of the second, and now a first runner on, and that's basically how things got started in the first inning. The leadoff batter drew a walk, as did the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the third. Zamorano with a ball. This one misses outside, goes 2 balls, so that is 6 pitches off the plate for Adam Moraga here in the bottom of the third inning. Light's beginning to take over here as twilight is coming on. Knees called strike, 2-1. The mountains that you might be seeing in the background are the Catalina Mountains. Runner goes, throw to second base, right on the spot, but he got there just in time. The pitch was called a strike, 2-2. So the stolen base puts a runner on second base in scoring position, and that's pretty much how things shook out in the first inning. Big swing, but it's fouled off. Count will remain 2-2. Nathan Baez, the on-deck hitter. Nathan got a base hit in the first inning and came all the way around on a run-scoring double by Robert Campillo. Misses just inside. Ooh, they called that a delayed strike. The batter just kind of stood there and got tagged out because the catcher, Rodriguez, dropped the ball. There was no indication from the umpire that there had been a called strike. Not exactly sure that is particularly kosher, but that's the way it went. So 1 out, first base open, a runner on second, and Nathan Baez got a base hit and came around to score in the first inning. Looks at the pitch, a ball, and Moraga is having a terrible time finding the plate. Total of 44 pitches over 2 innings. That one finds the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. This one lifted towards center field and shallow. Romero didn't quite see it. Going out is Bojorquez, and he gathers it in for the out. Romero a little slow to react. I'm not sure that it would have been his ball anyway, but he did not react real quick on that. However, Bojorquez, the shortstop, got over there in shallow center field and gathered it in. 2 outs now, and Robert Campillo up there. Robert got a 2-out double for an RBI. This one hit out towards the second baseman. He smothers it, Wiltshire, and gets it over to first base from the seat of his pants, and that will be the last out. of the bottom of the second inning, nothing across, and we go through 3 full innings of play, and we're all tied up at 2-2. O'Reilly Chevrolet would like to let you know about their 95th anniversary tent sale. What a sale. This thing goes on all month long, and what savings. You can save up to 20% off MSRP on the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs on the lot. Okay, I make that point because, yes, the sale goes on all month long, but to get best selection, head on over to 6160 East Broadway. O'Reilly Chevrolet, the good folks that know how to provide the best in sales and service. To the top of the 4th inning we go, all knotted up at 2-2. Center fielder Kiko Romero stepping in there. He had a soft line drive out to the second baseman Samorano. That happened in the 1st inning. Big swing after looking at a ball, and the count will even at 1-1. Preston Clifford, the next scheduled hitter, and then Ryan Graybosch will follow outside for a ball, and the count goes to 2-1. Big swing and a miss. We'll even it up at 2-2. Kiko got hurt in the 1st inning in the ball game last night and did not have any plate appearances. 2-2 pitch outside. We'll go 3-2. Romero 14 of 29 here at the stadium so far this season. Inside corner called strike. Kiko thought that he had a walk and was headed down to first base, so obviously he disagreed, but he's not the one that it counts. Preston Clifford steps in there. We have 10 hitters in the lineups in this league. Umpire looking over to see who is barking at him from the dugout on the visitor's side. Unable to isolate exactly who it was. Around the bunt is Preston Clifford, trying to test whether Conboy could come in from his deep position and get him out. Didn't pull the bat back in time and got a called strike. Inside and low, 1-1. Behind the plate umpire John Gross. Out on the bases is Rod Allen. You haven't seen either one of these too frequently in the season. Little chin music there backs him off, and we'll go 2-1. This one past the third baseman Conboy, diving, and it'll go into the corner. That'll result in a double as he cruises into second base for a one-out double. Runner in scoring position with an opportunity to break our 2-2 tie here in the top of the second inning. Ryan Graybosch will be the hitter in the second inning. As the second hitter in the inning, he walked, went all the way around to third on a base hit by Jesus Lopez, and then came home on the 2-run double by Evan Falwell. Tries to lay down a drag bunt, hoping to catch Conboy napping, unable to do so. 0-1 count, first base open. To the plate, swung on, outside corner, didn't quite get a long enough bat to get out there and get that one. So it'll be 0-2. Center fielder Martinez kind of medium deep, and a little bit deeper is Villa in left. Over in right, Hart is back a bit with the left-handed hitter. This one fouled off to the left side. Count will remain 0-2. On deck hitter is Jesus Lopez. Big swing and a bunch of air for a strikeout. Second strikeout here in the inning. Fourth one on the game for Altier. And that will bring up Lopez, who is playing third tonight. He got a base hit and then came around on that 2 RBI double by Evan Falwell, who's playing first base tonight for the Rockets. Couple of outs, runner on scoring position. That one floated high for a ball. Backed him off just a bit, and it goes 2-0. So Altier had Graybosch 0-2 and now down 2-0. This one lifted to left field. Heading towards the line is Villa. Out to take a look at is the shortstop Baez, and it falls into fair territory between the two of them, and that will be a run-scoring base hit. So our tie is broken here with a high fly ball that just settled itself right between the shortstop Baez and the left fielder Villa. So a 2-out, a kind of base hit. Didn't have a lot of mustard on it. Now Villa had been swung over a little bit towards center field, and even now is playing off the line. First pitch strike to Falwell. So he had a long way to go, as did the shortstop Baez, and it nestled itself right between them and about a foot inside the foul line. This one, a big league pop-up to center field. Ricky Martinez over there to pick it off. So that will end the inning, but one run comes across. And after 3.5 innings of play, it is BNL 3 and the Tucson Champs 2. You know, the top Tucson driving school is Stop and Go Driving School. Learning to drive is not just something that you do to pass your test and get your license. You do it to make sure that you're safe on the road. Hundreds of thousands of automobile accidents happen every year, many of them fatal. With the Stop and Go Driving School expert teachers, you are in the best place to keep yourself safe. Certified driver's education courses are available at Stop and Go Driving School. As we launch into the bottom of the fourth, Adam Moraga is on the mound for his fourth inning of work. First pitch to the leadoff hitter Manny Villa, who is the designated hitter as a ball. He'll be followed by Fabian Ferreira and then Milky Villa. Next pitch does catch that corner outside for a called strike. This one swung on and just slid down the third base side, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looking at some of the other games, top of the fourth, it's the Kings 7-5 over Team Tucson, and the Aztecs 5-0 over the Rincon Knights in the bottom of the fourth. We are 3-2 here in Kino Stadium. High and away for a ball, squared up at 2. Misses low, 3-2. To the plate. Leadoff walk, and that is what hurt BNL in that first inning. Leadoff walk. 2 outs, though, and then a base hit and then a double, and 2 runs came in. BNL countered with 2 in the top of the second, 1 in the top of the first, and they're on top 3-2. Inside corner called strike. The catcher, Fabian Ferreira, lined out on a fine play by Tyler Wiltshire at second base. He really went up the ladder to grab that one. Nice job by Rodriguez moving his feet and getting over to block a ball from going through, and the count will go 1-1. Off-speed pitch drops in there for a called strike, 2-1. At the set, the runner stays, swung on, down low, strikeout. That will be the 3rd strikeout recorded by Moraga through 4 innings of work here. First out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Mikey Villa, the left fielder, will step in. He got a base hit, got around to second base. That happened in the 2nd inning. First pitch swinging, fouls it back towards the press box. Malcavia overall 273 on the batting average. Pitch is a ball, 1-1. Manny Villa at first, moderate leadoff, and not a great secondary leadoff. Inside corner for a called strike, 1-2. Moraga has walked 2 on the evening. This one hit to third base, to second for 1, and back to first for an around-the-horn double play. Those are tough to complete, but they did so. So that is going to be the second out at second base, and, of course, the 3rd out at first base. And without regard to the walk, 3 up and 3 down, and nothing across here in the bottom of the 4th inning. After 4 full innings of play, it's BNL Rockets 3 and the Tucson Champs 2. Come see the difference at Goliath Auto Sales. They are the no-pressure used car dealership at 5170 North La Cholla Boulevard in Tucson. Now, one of their recent customers, a gentleman named John, wrote in and, quote, in part from his letter, "It was the most painless deal I ever had buying a car. I would highly recommend Goliath Auto Sales. For value pricing, affordable vehicles, make sure you check out Goliath Auto Sales." At the top of the fifth inning, with our score 3-2 in favor of the BNL Rockets up there at this time. And the leadoff hitter promptly slaps one inside the bag down third baseline and into the corner. He'll cruise into second base with a stand-up double. And just like that, we've got a runner in scoring position and an opportunity for BNL Rockets to expand it. Wiltshire had popped out to the shortstop Baez in the second inning. And the second baseman, who has a fine defensive play under his belt already tonight, has got a double, and he is on second base. Martin Rodriguez flew out to the left fielder Milky Villa in the second inning. First pitch to him is a called strike. Oh, 1 pitch, hit sharply down to third and just foul. 2 strikes, 0-2 now. Boy, that was foul by a whisker. Home plate umpire John Gross did a good job of getting out there and making that call promptly. Rodriguez overall a .444 batting average, and he has done quite well here in the stadium too at .462. Pitch down low for a ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Marco Osuna, the designated hitter, is the next scheduled hitter. Altier at the set, a glance back at second for a second time, now a third and fourth, and everybody calls timeout. I thought maybe Cole was one of those bobblehead dolls the way he was bouncing his head back and forth towards second base. To the plate, offered at it. Let's see. Well, they look at the base umpire, Rod Allen. He says, no, he did not swing. And so the count evens at 2-2. We have a runner on second and nobody out here in the top of the fifth inning. Changeup, swung at and pounded into the dirt right in front of home plate. 2-2 will remain the count. Wiltshire was the pitcher of record last night, and boy, he sure did a fine job. Struck out 9, went 6 innings, and got the win. Once again, fouled at the plate, and will go to the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Checking the infield, Lopez at third, Bajorca is at short. Wiltshire is out at, check that, we got the wrong side, my mistake. Convoy is at third. Short is Baez. Samarino is at second base, and Campillo is at first. Altier to the plate. This one pounded into the dirt once again. Any Gophers in the area are getting a tremendous headache. He's pounded 3 of them right down in the dirt right around home plate. 8th pitch of the at-bat. The count still goes 2-2. We do have somebody warming in the BNL bullpen. This one lifted back towards us. Too bad I don't have a big net. Couldn't have gotten it anyway. It came off the aluminum, which makes a racket and a half. So 9 pitches will be the situation for Martin Rodriguez as he is protecting it. This one wrapped sharply out to left field. Milky Villa can't get to it, gets it on a hop. For a moment, Wiltshire held up, not sure whether that ball was going to drop or get caught. So his progress will halt at third base, and runners at first and third with nobody out here in the top of the fifth inning. Marco Osuna ripped a line drive, but unfortunately for Marco, it went right at Elijah Hunt in right field. So a scoring opportunity for BNL here. They are up by 1 in the top of the fifth inning. Outfield pretty much straight away. Altier guns it over to first, but not in time. Villa in left field is a tad bit deeper than the players in center and right. On the knees for a called strike. to the plate, right side foul. 0-2. Still trying to pick up who is warming up out in the bullpen. What we need is a little speaker out there that we can say first runner goes from first. The throw down to second base bounces and goes into center field. The batter struck out, but the errant throw will bring a run home. There'll be no RBI on it because I would suspect that we're going to have to give an error to the catcher. So the runner, Rodriguez, broke from first and went to second. Wiltshire seemed content to stay at third, but when the ball bounced into center field, he waltzed home, high pitch for a ball. Bajorquez, the shortstop, is up there. He's 0 for 2. Took a called third strike in the third inning, grounded out to the shortstop Baez in the first. Second pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike, 1-1. So BNL goes ahead by 2. This one high behind second base over to get it is Sammarino, and he will gather it in for the pop fly out to the second baseman, second out of the inning, and that will bring up Trey Mesa. Mesa 0 for 2. Overall, coming into the ballgame batting .257. That includes the at-bats out in the south fields, but here in the stadium, his batting average is .214. Got some action now going in the Tucson Champs bullpen. Pitch outside for a ball. So player number 50 and player number 25 headed down to the Tucson Champs bullpen with a 1-1 strike count to Mesa. First base is open, 2 outs. This one lifted into shallow right center field. Back to camp underneath it is Sammarino, and he makes the second put out in a row and the third out of the inning. But in the inning, one more across for BNL, and after 4.5, BNL Rockets lead it by a score of 4-2 over the Tucson Champs. Rincon Financial Group is a Tucson organization that understands that individuals face unique challenges as they prepare for retirement. The Rincon Group is standing by to take the mystery out of preparing for today and tomorrow. What goal do you have? Retirement preparation, college savings, estate strategy? Well, the personalized services of the Rincon Financial Group standing by ready to focus on your needs, wants, and financial goals. The Rincon Financial Group. First pitch swinging is the leadoff hitter for the Tucson Champs as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Elijah Hart, the scheduled hitter, struck out the first time he was up in the 2nd inning. The next scheduled hitter is Sean Conboy. This one fouled off to the right, and Hart is in a hole 0-2. Then we'll go to the top of the order, Jacob Federico. Through 4.5, BNL 4 and the Tucson Champs 2. This one lifted into right center field, and unless somebody can really get on their horse, it's going to get down. Romero did a fine job hustling over there, but an 0-2 pitch results in a base hit and another gray hair for a pitching coach. 0-2, you're supposed to put it somewhere where they can't get to it. Conboy, the third baseman, will step in there. He got a base hit in the second inning. Inside part of the plate for a called strike. Big swing and fouled off to the left side for the second time in a row. Adam Moraga has it his way 0-2. Unfortunately, with the leadoff hitter, put the ball a little too close to be able to be hit, and it was into right field for a base hit. Just above the letters, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Nice lead off at first base, but nothing happening. And he swung at the pitch unintentionally, I'm sure, but was called out on the strike and the swing. And that will be the first out of the bottom of the 5th inning. We go to the top of the order. Jacob Federico walked and scored in the first and ended the second inning by grounding the ball to a 4-6 out, second base to shortstop. So he is 0 for 1 on the evening. Misses high for a ball. That strikeout was the 4th strikeout for Moraga. Came into the inning having thrown 60 pitches. A little bit of an off-speed pitch and a big swing and a miss by Federico, who is the extra hitter tonight. In the league, they have 10 hitters. Boy, the B&L Rockets love to play shallow in center and right. Romero in center, very shallow. Graybosch in right, maybe a little bit deeper. Mesa in left field, not really following suit as he's about medium deep. 2 balls and a strike. Big swing, misses. High fastball, 2-2 will go. Ricky Martinez, the on-deck hitter, as Federico kind of walks away and muttering to himself, I should have gotten that one. I could have gotten that one. Not that I've ever been in that position myself, of course. 2-2. Foul, right side, may get to the seats, but whether it does or doesn't, it's a little bit too far for Graybosch to hustle, even though he was relatively short. 6th pitch of the at-bat and a 2-2 count. Try to pick up who is warming up out in the bullpen for the Tucson champs. Up and throwing is Tyler Gray in the bullpen. He of Rainy River Community College. To the plate, off speed, misses high. 3-2. Only 1 out, so unlikely that Elijah Hart at first will be on his way with a 3-2 pitch, but you never know. He is not. This one swung on, popped up on the right side, drifting into foul territory is the first baseman Falwell, and he will gather it in. Out number 2 in the inning. And Ricky Martinez will come up. Grounded out to the shortstop Bajorquez in the first inning. Walked and stole the base in the third. Unfortunately for the Tucson champs, Martinez on second fouls this first one off into the right field stands. The next 3 batters were unable to get a base hit, and there he stayed. At the set, timeout called, and this really is something. Umpires always give the benefit of the doubt to the hitter. The pitcher was almost into his motion. Sometimes I've seen situations where the pitcher almost wrenches his arm with the umpire calling timeout. Swung on, missed. 3 out of 4 hitters in this inning down 0-2 as Moraga is sailing along fairly well. Did give up a base hit as the leadoff hitter, but since that time has said, no way, no way. A strikeout, his 4th of the game, and a pop out for the 2 outs. The runner goes, the pitch is swung on, and that will be the end of the inning with a swinging strike. And the 5th out, or rather the 5th strikeout for Moraga through 5 full innings of play. So nothing across in the bottom of the 5th inning, and we go to the top of the 6th. Our score, BNL Rockets 4, and the Tucson Champs have 2. Your Jimmy John's restaurant locations in and around the Tucson area know how much you care about freshness. That's why they spend hours in preparation every day just to make your sandwich quickly and efficiently with the freshest bread, all natural meats, and hand-sliced veggies every single time. Stop by the store, or if it's more convenient, you can order online at jimmyjohns.com. Fifth inning for the BNL Rockets as they step in there. It will be Kiko Romero, the center fielder, followed by Preston Clifford and Ryan Graybosch, the right fielder. Second pitch misses outside, 2-0. Kiko looked at a called third strike that he did not really agree with. That one on the outside corner for a called strike. And Romero, who catches a lot, glanced back at home plate umpires John Gross as if to say, hey, what, buddy? This one even farther outside, and the count will go to 3-1. Cole Artier out there for his 6th inning of work. This one fouled off to the left side. 3-2 will be the count. Way outside, and a leadoff walk. So we'll have a little discussion about what's going on here with Cole Altier. Warming up out in the bullpen, he has since sat down, is Tyler Gray. So we will see what happens here. So the new pitcher in for the Tucson Champs will be Tyler Gray, and he will pick up here against Preston Clifford in the top of the 6th inning. Clifford lined out to the third baseman Conboy in the 2nd inning and got a double and came around to score in the 4th. We'll give you the numbers on Cole Altier and his stint here. The first pitch is inside and low to Clifford. Cole Altier worked 5 innings, gave up 4 runs on 6 hits, had 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. The second of the 2 walks kind of led to his demise here in the top of the 6th. The throw to first base almost got him. The pitch was a ball, 2-0. Next scheduled hitter is Ryan Graybosch. He walked in the 2nd and came around to score, struck out in the 4th. To the plate, misses outside. 3 balls. You don't really bring in your relief pitcher to walk the first man he faces, but right now Gray is on the verge of doing that. 3-0. Kind of keep an eye on whether they're going to let the hitter loose, and good idea that they did not. A second walk in the inning here and nobody out with runners now on first and second. Graybosch has had a good time here in the stadium, batting .333, .371 overall. As I mentioned, walked and scored in the 2nd, struck out swinging in the 4th. Left fielder Milky Villa has moved in pretty shallow. This one ripped foul down the right field line. Very solid hit, but unfortunately did not stay between the white lines. We're in the top of the 6th inning. For BNL, 4 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. For Team Tucson, or the Tucson Champs rather, 2-5-1. To the plate, high and away for a ball, 1-1. Solidly shot into right field. That will score the runner from second, and that will send Clifford around to third base, and an RBI single for Ryan Graybosch. And that will expand the BNL lead to 5-2 now. Still nobody out, and we go to Jesus Lopez, who is 2 for 2. He got an RBI single in the 4th inning. Way high, as Tyler Gray is having a little hard time finding a release point here. Lopez singled and came all the way around to score from first base on a 2-out double, 2 RBI double as a matter of fact, by Evan Falwell. Next pitch is a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Runners on first and third. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. The runner at first base goes. The ball was lined into the BNL dugout. Everybody needs to come around and count their fingers and toes because that one whistled in there with a great bit of rapidity. Are you impressed? Oh, well. Have to do something to entertain myself up here. 2-1 is the count. So Jesus steps back in there after ripping one into the dugout. His buddies will thank him for that, I'm sure. Down low for a ball, 3-1. Two and 0. The runner from first base, Graybosch, headed for second. We'll see what he does here. 3-1. No movement. Inside corner for a called strike 2. Lopez thought he had a walk. Nothing ticks off an umpire more than that, where the batter heads on down on something that was a called strike. 3-2, the runner on first goes, swung on, the throw down to second base, gets him at second, but the runner will come home, and that will run across another run. The out was 2-4. Nice throw by the catcher, Faria, and that is the first out of the inning. Lopez strikes out for a swing him out and throw him out. But another run comes across, and BNL is up 6-2 now with Evan Falwell, the hitter. Reaches for one outside for a swinging strike. Evan with a 2 RBI double in the second inning. That is what squared it up for BNL after they had surrendered 2 in the bottom of the first. Popped up on the right side. Going back for it is Campillo. It looks like it's going to get to the seats and fall in between Campillo, Sammarano, and the right fielder Elijah Hart. So 2 walks led off the inning. The first walk by Altier, the starting pitcher. So that will credit 5 runs to Altier. This first batter for Tyler Gray, this one fouled to the screen, was also a walk. So those walks will kill you. An RBI single and a strike him out, throw him out, but the run scored from third. Rocks comes to the plate, inside corner, called strike 3, looking. So that will end the inning, but 2 come across for BNL in the top of the 6th, and after 5.5, we go BNL 6 and Tucson Champs 2. The Best Western Tucson International Hotel and Suites features spacious guest rooms and 2-room suites with an upscale contemporary decor. Guest room amenities include complimentary internet, refrigerator, coffee maker, and in-room safe. Watch premium cable channels on a 42-inch flat-screen TV. And many rooms have patio doors opening to a tranquil courtyard. A best place to stay is Best Western Tucson International Hotel and Suites. New pitcher to the bottom of the 6th inning for the BNL Rockets. This is Mario Corrales. First pitch to the leadoff hitter Luis Sammarano is a called strike. Sammarano looked at a third strike in the 3rd inning and got an RBI ground out in the 1st inning. Next pitch is 1-1 outside. Checking the infield. Got a little bit of movement here, and I'll try to catch up with it in just a second. High and away for a ball. Jesus Lopez is still at third base, but it looks like they moved Wiltshire over to shortstop. And we'll check and see where the shortstop Bejorquez went to. He moved over to second base. Interesting move. Corrales pitches, lifted down the right field side. Graybosch over to get it, just in front of the stands over there. Had a pretty good distance to go, and got to that warning track, made sure that he wasn't going to crash into the stands, and wound up stopping in time and getting the out to right field. First out here at the bottom of the sixth inning. So Wiltshire and Bejorquez change positions. We'll look and see if there's anything else going on. Inside for a ball to Nathan Baez. Baez got a base hit and scored in the bottom of the first inning, then popped up to the then shortstop Bejorquez in the third. Outside corner for a ball this time. Appreciate the comments that are being sent in. Unfortunately, as a one-man show here, it's a little bit tough to keep up with them. So I apologize for ignoring your efforts. Thank you very much. I know that I got off track there in one inning, and you guys let me know. So I do really appreciate that. High for a ball, and that will be a walk. So Corrales gives up a walk here in the bottom of the sixth inning as he's coming up there in relief of Adam Moraga. Moraga went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs and 5 hits, got 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. And the batter will be Robert Campillo. He's the first baseman, and he's the one that led things off here for the Tucson Champs. Got a 2-run double. First pitch to him outside corner for a called strike. That was in the first inning. Then he grounded out to the then second baseman, Tyler Wiltshire, in the third inning. I always smile when you hear on a move to first base, the dugout hollering back. Generally, they're a little bit behind the times. I know they mean well, but the runner is always on his way back by the time they even say back. There is some action out in the B&L bullpen, but not much. Just a player kneeling down out there, and it's empty in the Team Tucson dugout or bullpen. 1-1 pitch way outside. 2 balls and a strike. On deck hitter is Manny Villa. Manny is the designated hitter tonight. At the set. Letters for a called strike. 2-2. Campillo playing first base tonight. 1 for 2. Breaking pitch just catches the inside corner for a called strike. Second out of the inning as Campillo kind of mutters to himself as he wanders away. Manny Villa stepping in there. 182 is his entry-level batting average here in the stadium. Wraps the first pitch into left center field, and it's hit solidly enough that Baez has to hold up at second base. So base hit, it's going to be the 6th base hit recorded by the Tucson Champs here. 2 runners on, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning with the Champs trailing by 4. So they need base hits and base runners. Fabian Ferreira stepping in. Hit a ball that was ticketed for the wall in right center field on a line. Looks at the first pitch as a called strike. Tyler Wiltshire climbed the ladder and got up there and grabbed it. Then Ferreira struck out swinging in the 4th. Little mix-up on what the signals may or may not have been, so a little conference going on there. Started the game at 102 degrees. And it has cooled off, but not very much tonight. Normally here in Tucson, it does drop down, but tonight it is kind of holding its own. It's gotten down 10 degrees to 92. Pitch high for a ball, 1-1. Well, they say that's Marana. Let's check on Tucson. Tucson is 91. It's always a little bit warmer in the city to the north of Tucson. Swung on and fouled off to the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 102 at game time, which is 7 o'clock, and of course now about 8:30, it has dropped down 11 degrees. So that is one thing that's nice about the Tucson area, is that it seems because of the higher elevation to get down there, this one lifted to right center field. Going to be trouble, but getting over is the right fielder, Graybosch, and does a fine job of grabbing that ball on the run. So Graybosch has been moving all over the place and made a couple of fine plays. We will star that one to indicate that he really did a fine job getting a long way. And the bottom of the 6th inning comes up zilch once again for the Tucson Champs. They have not scored since the 1st inning. And after 6 full innings of play, it is BNL 6 and the Tucson Champs 2. Firestone Complete Auto Care. Keep that in mind. They're your go-to tire store in the greater Tucson area. Find the right tires either online or in the store. They have 5 locations. Any one of them is going to be fine. Do a great job for you. 2400 block of North First, 3501 East Broadway. 290 West Wetmore Road, 4800 block East Sunrise. Or 7950 East Speedway. Anywhere you go for Firestone Complete Auto Care, you will not be disappointed. Firestone Auto Care in the greater Tucson area. Going to the top of the 7th inning. First pitch to the leadoff hitter, Tyler Wiltshire, is a called strike. Still on the mound for Tucson Champs, Tyler Gray. He came in after 1 batter in the 6th inning. This one fouled straight back, and Tyler is down 0-2. Tyler popped out to the shortstop, Baez, in the 2nd inning. In the 5th inning, he got a double and came around to score. Down low for a ball, 1-2. Misses that one, and he'll sit down. Swinging strikeout. First out of the top of the 7th inning. Scheduled hitter is Martin Rodriguez, the catcher, and he does step up there. He's 1 for 2. Boy, he worked a ton of pitches in the 5th inning. Finally, on the 9th pitch of his at-bat, he got a base hit. Earlier, he had flown out to left field. Pitch misses outside for a ball. Everybody pretty much defensively at a standard location. There's not a lot of scouting in this league. This one ripped towards center field. Getting over, though, is Ricky Martinez. I thought maybe that one was ticketed for the left center field wall, but did not have that much oomph on it. And Ricky Martinez actually got a pretty good jump on it. Second out of the inning. 6 pitches and 2 outs. I'll take that any old day of the week. Marco Osuna, the designated hitter, stepping in there. He's 0 for 2, looks at the first pitch as a called strike. He lined out right at Elijah Hart. Elijah didn't have to move a muscle. That was in the 3rd inning. This one wrapped out towards the shortstop Baez. He scoops it up and gets it over to first for a 1-2-3 inning. And that will give Team Tucson an opportunity, or the Tucson champs rather, an opportunity to come up here and see what they can do. They've got 3 at-bats left, and after 6.5 innings of play, they are trailing by a score of 6-2. You know, when you want really good Tex-Mex cuisine, or actually northern Baja California, if you really would like to know, Chewy's Mesquite Broiler is the place at East 22nd and Kalb. Chewy's knows what Southwestern tastes are all about, and they are there to satisfy. Chewy's at 22nd Street is open until 10 on weeknights and Sundays, till 11 on Fridays, and until midnight on Saturdays. Enjoy the food, decor, and drinks at Chewy's at East 22nd Street and Kalb. I would especially recommend the food and decor. Chewy's at 22nd and Kalb is kind of a funky place, and actually very, very good food. When we rolled up on it, my wife and I, we decided, well, I don't know about this place, but got inside and had a couple of really fine meals, and it was very, very nice. Okay, no runs and no hits in the 6th inning. So after 6 innings of at-bats for BNL, they have only 6 hits, but they've got 6 runs to go along with it. So that's making a huge difference. Bottom of the 7th inning. The scheduled hitter will be Milky Villa, and we'll check and see if the young man has a bat in his hands. He does not, so they'll have a pinch hitter here. Next scheduled hitter is Elijah Hart, and then Sean Conboy. This is about the time of a ball game here in the Sun Belt League that the managers begin to send lots of different people up there. So coming up to bat is A.J. Van Bogart. He has a .300 batting average here in the stadium. So hopefully with that average and getting a little something going here in the bottom of the 7th inning, then the Tucson champs might be able to get something going as Van Bogart steps in there. We'll check and see defensively what kind of changes that we have going on in the field for the BNL Rockets rather. First pitch is a ball. Mario Corrales is still on the mound for BNL. Outside corner for a called strike. Adam Moraga went the first 5 innings, and Corrales came in as the leadoff pitcher, if you will, in the 6th. Got through the inning unscathed. Had a runner in scoring position. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looking at the infield, Lopez, Wiltshire, Bajorquez, and Falwell. Everybody's in the assigned places according to what I have here, so we'll go with that. Rocks and Deals off-speed pitch catches the inside corner for a called strike. First out of the bottom of the 7th inning. Checking the outfield, we find Mesa in left, Romero in center, and Graybosch in right, and that's the way they started things off. Elijah Hart with a hit in 2 times at bat. He did swing through a pitch in the 2nd inning and was called out on a strike or swinging strikeout. First pitch swinging and down to the third base coach, who barehanded grabs it. Well, I remember the San Diego Padres used to have a Thursday afternoon day game in which they promoted sales groups to come by. They had these little promotional rah-rah meetings that they gave before that, along with the luncheon. Second pitch, a slider in for a called strike. So here are these guys in, Brooks Brothers suits and things like that. Then they're going to the ball game, and they ball into the stands with their fine suits and everything else like that, and they're tearing and ripping these suits going after a $2.50 ball. Yeah, not a real value-based decision there, guys. This one outside for a ball, and we'll square it up at 2. BNL notorious for their shallow play in the outfield, especially in center and right, although Graybosch is a little bit back in right field. Into the dirt for a ball, and after getting a strikeout, the first batter, the second batter, Elijah Hart, has worked Corrales to a full count. 3-2. Misses inside. Runner on with 1 out. And the next batter is Sean Conboy, who is the third baseman. Sean has a base hit in 2 times at bat. Last time he came up, he struck out swinging in the 5th inning. Corrales with 18 pitches in the 6th inning. Six pitches, 7, 8, 9, 10 already here in the 7th, way outside. One ball, no strikes, a runner on with 1 out. Outside again. So the Tucson champs need to have base runners. They're down by 4. They've got 3 chances, 7, 8, and 9 here. Runner goes low and inside on the throw and high and away to second base. Tough job by Rodriguez. He reached down and got a hold of the ball. But because it was down and away, he really was not in a great position to be able to throw to second base. The throw was kind of on time but high. Pitch is a called strike on a 3-0 count. So Conboy with a runner in scoring position and a 3-1 count on him. Then we'll go to the top of the order. Big swing and missed that one. So for the second batter in a row, the count will squeeze out to 3-2. At the set, a look back at second to the plate, swung on and foul tipped into the catcher's glove. Second strikeout in this inning recorded by Corrales. He had 1 strikeout in the previous inning, so he has 3 already. And he hasn't even gone through 9 hitters, or 10 hitters, be the case. Top of the order, Jacob Federico. Federico started everything off for the Tucson champs, made it look good, got a walk, and came around to score in the first inning. Off-speed pitch drops in there for a called strike. Federico got on a fielder's choice in the second and then popped out to the first baseman Falwell in the 5th inning. Runner on second, a couple outs, first base obviously open. Well, if it worked once, let's try it again. That's exactly what Corrales did. Dropped the same pitch in the same spot. And Federico finds himself behind 0-2. Mesa has drifted a little bit farther back in left field. However, center and right still prefer to play shallow. Long look back at second base, and we'll call time at the plate, and everybody will step off and try to start it again. Appreciate you being with us. We're here every night except Wednesday and Sunday, where stadiums are dark those 2 nights. Started about 6:50. Just barely got the end of the bat on that and got it past the catcher to the screen. Count will remain 0-2. 6-7-0 for B&L. 2-5-1 for the team, rather the Tucson champs. Look back at second look back there, comes to the plate, reaches out on a pitch on the outside part of the plate and misses it. So it is the fourth strikeout now for Corrales, who's sailing along rather smartly. And the bottom of the seventh inning, nothing across and no hits during the inning. So after 7 full innings of play, the Tucson champs have 2 runs on 6 hits, but they are short to the 6 runs for BNL. And so after 7 full, it's 6-2. Elite Sporting Goods is a store specializing in equipment, uniforms, and school uniforms as well. They also do company printing. They have a really full range of services, including silk screening, embroidery, heat press custom printing, banners, and more. Elite Sporting Goods is over there on South Campbell at 3640. Stop by or call them. You can find them on the web as well. They would be Elite Sporting Goods. Going up to the top of the order, Jorge Bojorquez will be the hitter. He started off at shortstop and then moved over to second base. First pitch from Tyler Gray. The ball is sliced off to the right side. Bojorquez has taken the donut tonight so far, 0 for 3. Gray rocks and fires. Outside corner, nada on the swing. Bojorquez is going to go to Sacramento State. He is a recent graduate of Nogales High School. Next pitch is wrapped down to Baez at short, and very smoothly Mr. Baez comes up with it and throws him out at first base. First out of the top of the 8th inning. The scheduled on-deck hitter is Trey Mesa, but they will bring up a pinch hitter, and that is Seth Nager. So Seth, who has played center field a lot, will step in and try his swings against Tyler Gray. First pitch is a ball. This one hit to straightaway center field. Ricky Martinez comes in and can't get it as he bounces in front of him. Kind of a soft line drive out there, so a base hit recorded. 7th of the ball game for BNL. Going to check the defensive alignments here, as this is the time of the game that everybody moves around. Conboy is still at third, Baez at short, Zamorano at second base, and Campillo still at first base. A move to first, and nothing going on there. Kiko Romero, who has had a good run here in the stadium, came in tonight batting .483, and he just wrapped one into right field for the second hit in a row, getting over there to test Elijah Hart's arm, and the runner goes around to third base. So runners on first and third now with 1 out, and BNL threatening to advance their 6-2 lead. Preston Clifford will step in there. He walked the last time that he was at bat, got a double and scored in the 4th inning, and lined out to the third baseman Conboy back in the 2nd. This one lifted high and shallow right side. Luis Zamorano, the second baseman back there, and he will pick it off. That is the second out of the inning. First pitch swinging was Preston Clifford. So despite the fact that there are two batters on, Tyler Gray has only thrown 7 pitches here in the 8th inning. Ryan Graybosch, who has an RBI single in the 6th, struck out swinging in the 4th, and walked and scored in the 2nd inning. Runner goes from first. The throw faked down to second, trying to catch Nager sleeping at third base, and that did not work as Nager did not bite for it. The pitch was a strike, and the runner moves down to second, so 2 in scoring position now. Tyler Gray off the mound. Steps up and gets set. First base is open. Runners at second and third. 2 outs. And we're in the top of the 8th inning. At the knees for a called strike. And Graybosch is in the hole 0-2. The Tucson champs can ill afford giving up any more runs. They still have 4 to make up in their 8th and 9th inning at-bats. Golfed at and fouled at the plate. Count will remain. The Kings are 15-5 over Team Tucson in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the Aztecs 9-2 in the top of the 7th over the Rincon Knights. This one, high hopper to third base. Picked up there and thrown low. Convoy almost got a little too lazy with that. Nice pickup by Campillo, and that will record the out, the third out at first base. Boy, that would have been a disaster to have that short hop the first baseman and account for a run, but nothing across in the top of the 8th inning. So we go 7.5 innings, and the score remains 6-2. The Tucson champs have not scored since the first inning. It needs to be Kino, Veterans Memorial Stadium on the 4th of July. Listen to this. A spectacular fireworks show following an all-star 7-inning baseball game that starts at 6:30, but even better, at 5 o'clock the gates open to dollar hot dogs, giveaways, a kids zone with games, music, and much more. All of this for just $4. And if you buy advance tickets either here at the stadium or at the sports arena or the sports complex offices, you get free parking. You can also buy those free parking tickets, same $4, at Pizza Hut locations, Food City, or the Cactus Bowling Alley. Kino, Veterans Memorial Stadium, 4th of July. Gates open at 5. Game starts at 6:30. And a heck of a fireworks show. Boy, they put it on. 25 to 30 minutes worth of fireworks looking good. All of that on the 4th of July here at Kino, Veterans Memorial Stadium. Corral is still on the mound for BNL, and his first pitch is way outside to the second hitter in the lineup. This is Ricky Martinez. Scheduled hitters are Zamorano and Baez in spots 2, 3, and 4. Big swing and fouled at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ricky is 0 for 2. He got a walk and got around to second base in the 3rd, but around that, a ground out and a strikeout. Waves at a pitch way outside. Well, not that far out, but where the umpire has been calling him, so probably can't fault him for going after that. The only thing that you might think of is he needs to step towards right and whack it into right. Big swing and a miss. That's the second strikeout in a row for Corrales. He got one, actually third strikeout in a row. The last 2 hitters in the 7th inning, he got on strikeouts. And now the first hitter here in the 8th. Five strikeouts through less than 3 innings of work. The batter is Luis Zamorano, the second baseman. First pitch to him is a ball. He is over, but he does have an RBI off of a ground out in the first inning, way outside, 2-0. The bottom of the 7th inning, it's 9-2 the Aztecs over the Knights. But somebody just hit one out over there, so we'll check on that. This one wrapped down to the second baseman, Bejarano, goes to first with it, and the 4-3 out will be the second out of the inning. Alvaro Burnett hit a solo home run for the Knights in the 6th inning, so that brings it up to 9-3, but the Knights are still trailing. With 2 outs and nobody on, Nathan Baez, the shortstop, steps in there, looks at one just a skosh high. So without regard to the fact that Corrales has missed on the first pitch to each of the 3 hitters that he's faced here, he's got 2 outs and nobody on. And now for the second hitter in a row, he goes 2-0. Corrales came in the bottom of the 6th inning. The starter was Moraga. This one lifted foul into the stands on the right side. Moraga went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs on 5 hits, got 5 strikeouts and a couple of walks. Well, Corrales, since the bottom of the 6th, has matched him in strikeouts with 5, has given up 1 walk, misses outside and low. 3-1. We're in the bottom of the 8th with the Tucson champs needing to get a rally going here. 3-2 count on a called strike. This one hit sharply into center field, so a 2-out base hit. And that will bring up the first baseman, Robert Campillo. Robert created the only noise for the Tucson champs that in the first inning when he got a double and drove in a run. 2 runs came across for the champs in the bottom of the first inning, and since that time, it has been silencio. Last time that Campillo was up, he looked at a called third strike. That was in the 6th inning. And before that, a ground out, and before that, a double. High and away for a ball. So for the 4th hitter in a row, Corrales has not come in with a first pitch strike. Moved to first, trying to catch Baez napping over there. He was not. At the knees, inside corner, called strike. One and one. Nothing but air on a pretty good sized swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Robbie goes to New Mexico, graduate of South Point High School in 2016. What is it, the New Mexico Lobos? Is that who they are? I think so. High for ball. Knotted at 2-2. Lopez, Edwin Martinez has moved in to play shortstop according to what it says here. So we will make the adjustment there. Move to first and nothing happened. So we can expect a pinch hitter coming up. Floats high for a ball. Second batter in a row going to a 3-2 count. 3-2 and 2 outs. That will give Baez an opportunity to take off. Bojorquez is still at second and Falwell at first defensively. Seth Nager, who pinch hit, is out in left field and a ball, so there'll be 2 runners on now. 1 in scoring position. Checking center field, Romero is still there, and Graybosch is still in right. That'll bring up Manny Villa. He's the designated hitter. He is 1 for 2. Outside for a ball. 5th batter in a row now that Corrales has not been able to get that first strike in, and yet he struck out 3 in a row. Stretching from last inning, waves at a pitch well outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. If you're going to go after that one, you got to step towards right field and stroke it that way. Villa grounded out to shortstop in the first inning, got a walk in the 4th, and a base hit in the 6th. Couple of outs here and 2 on. Fouls that one off. To have much of an opportunity here, although we've seen 5 and 6 runs scored in an inning, but to have much of an opportunity here, the Tucson Champs probably need to get 1, maybe 2 across in this inning. They're down by 4. 1-2 pitch upstairs. 2-2 the count. At the set, to the plate, 2-2, hit out towards the shortstop. That is Martinez, and he comes up with it, and they make the out at second base. So that will be the 3rd out of the inning. Nothing across for the Tucson Champs, and after 8 full innings of play, it is 6-2 in favor of BNL. Cazal Fire Protection Company has been a leader in all aspects of fire protection since, you ready for this? 1982. Cazal Fire Protection Company serves both home and business locations by providing design, planning, and management of your fire protection needs. Cazal has an extensive knowledge in fire protection, and they work hard to keep their fine reputation. Look online to find Cazal Fire Protection Company, first in quality, serving with pride. Top of the ninth inning for BNL. Stepping in there is Jesus Lopez. First pitch swinging, really puts it into the sky to left field. Does it have enough legs to get into the bullpen? It does. Boy, that thing was about as high as it was long, and that's only the third home run that we've seen here at the stadium. Actually, the fourth now that I count them up. But that is the first home run for Jesus Lopez, and really kind of puts the nail in the coffin to the relief pitcher, Simon Bogey, who has just come in. And that runs the score up to 7-2. Evan Falwell, the first baseman, will step in there. A 2 RBI double in the second inning got things all knotted up for BNL at that time after they had surrendered 2 in the bottom of the first. And they have not looked back since scoring 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth, and 1 here in the ninth inning. First pitch, a called strike. Southfield game is final. We'll check on it here. It is the Kings 15-5 over Team Tucson. 15-5. Suspect that it got called. Slider drops in for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And in the bottom of the eighth inning, it's the Aztecs 9-2 over the Rincon Knights. Half swing, called a ball, 2-2. So Cole Altier started things off for the Tucson champs. Went 5 innings, gave up 5 runs on 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, and a couple of walks. This is a strikeout here, and it's going to be the first out of the inning, as Simon Bogey has been hot or cold. Hot being a strikeout here, cold being a home run given up to the leadoff hitter, Jesus Lopez. Stepping in is a relief or a pinch hitter. Let's see if we can catch a number. These numbers are a little bit hard to see on the backs of BNL. Whoever it is gets a ball on the first pitch. I believe it says number 5. So we will check and see who is Cinco. Strike. 1-1. This is Edwin Martinez. He is the young man that came into left field. Two and one. Top of the ninth inning here. BNL has added to their lead. This one stroked to center field. Ricky Martinez back there to gather it in. And that will be the second out of the inning, a line shot to center field. Let's check and see where everybody is. That is Ricky Martinez. A.J. Van Bogart is out in right field, and Elijah Hart has moved over to left. With 2 outs, that will bring up Martin Rodriguez, who puts one way over Elijah Hart's head. It hits off the warning track and bounces into the fence, and moving into second base does Mr. Martin Rodriguez with a stand-up double. So a 2-out base runner here after 1 is in on a home run. And the scheduled hitter is Marco Osuna. Osuna is 0 for 3, lined out to right field, struck out swinging, and grounded out to the shortstop. Slider drops in for a called strike. So Martin Rodriguez, the catcher, does not get a complimentary runner. Outside corner for a ball, missed out there. So we have Van Bogart in right field. Elijah Hart has moved over, swinging strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Infield still is Convoy, Baez, Sammarano, and now at first base is number 28. Oh, that's still Robbie Campillo. Well, they just put his first name there. Okay. Waved at and fouled off. So the count will remain 2-2 as Osuna saves his at-bat. Osuna came into the ball game tonight batting .333 here in the stadium. Off-speed pitch catches Osuna completely off guard, and it looked like a changeup just dropped in there for a called third strike. So 2 strikeouts, however, 1 home run given up by the relief pitcher Simon Bogey, and we will go to the bottom of the ninth with B&L Rockets leading by a score of 7-2. O'Reilly Chevrolet would like to let you know about their 95th anniversary tent sale. What a sale. What a sale, I'm saying. This thing goes all month long, and there are savings. 20% off MSRP on the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs on the lot. Okay, so the sale goes all month, but you better get down there. Best selection may have already been gone, but I'm sure you can find a car that'll be positive for you at 6160 East Broadway. O'Reilly Chevrolet, the good folks that know how to provide the best in sales and service. O'Reilly Chevrolet. New pitcher on the mound for the B&L Rockets. That would be Kiko Romero, who has come in from center field. They moved the right fielder. First pitch swinging for Fabian Ferreira is a swinging strike. They moved Graybosch over to center. And unfortunately, we've not been able to pick up a number for whoever is in right field right now. We'll try to check on that as we can. Swung on and fouled off to the right side. Seth Nager is in left. So we have an infield of Lopez, Martinez, Bajorquez, and Falwell. And maybe, just maybe, we might get a number out of right field. Fouled off to the right side once again on an 0-2 pitch. Pereira is 0 for 3, and he's been robbed twice. Back in the second inning, Wiltshire, who was playing second base at the time, really went up the ladder and grabbed one, keeping it from probably going all the way to the right center field wall. And then Ferreira struck out swinging in the fourth. And then an outstanding play by Ryan Graybosch, who was in right field at the time, to go a long, long way to track down a fly ball that easily could have dropped in for 2. So frustrating evening for Ferreira. the catcher. This one fouled off to the right side again. So he's had 3 pitches in almost the same place the last 3 times and fouled all 3 of them into the stands along the right field line. Romero rocks and deals. This one swung on and hit out towards Martinez at short. Martinez scoops it up and gets it over to first base. Doesn't bother to set his feet or anything like that. There was no need to rush the play as Ferreira was not that far down the line, but to each his own, I suspect. A.J. Van Bogart, who went into right field after pinch hitting in the 7th inning and striking out looking, will be the next batter. Outside corner for a called strike. We don't have a radar gun on Kiki Romero, but he certainly is in the upper 80s or low 90s in his pitches here. He rocks and comes to the plate again. That was a little off-speed pitch, and that had Van Bogart way out in front of it, and he is in the hole 0-2, as was his predecessor, Ferreira. Fabian fouled off 2 before he grounded to the shortstop for an out. 0-2 pitch, turned away from it, and the off-speed pitch dropped in there for a called strikeout. Second out, first strikeout for Romero. He just came in the top of the inning. And last chance saloon here for Elijah Hart. He is the 9th hitter in the order. Elijah is 1 for 2. Got on a walk in the 7th inning, base hit in the 5th, struck out swinging, and looks at a pitch at the knees for a called strike. (1-0). This one misses, looking for that outside part of the plate. 1-1. Elijah came in batting .333 here in the stadium. Fouled at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the Tucson champs scored 2 in the bottom of the first inning and have done nothing since then. They've threatened a couple of times with runners on second base, but have been unable to bring them around. That was in the 6th and again in the 8th. They also had a runner at second in the 3rd and in the 2nd. So they've had ample opportunities to be able to get something going here. So a runner at second base in the 1st, in the 2nd, in the 3rd, nothing in the 4th, nothing in the 5th, runner in second in the 6th, in the 7th, and in the 8th. 2-2 count. That comes under the category of timely base hitting, I suspect. Rocks and fires, 2-2, down low for a ball. And we'll go 3-2. Elijah did get a walk in the 7th inning. On deck hitter is number 33, that's Sean Convoy, and miss outside for a ball. So we have a 2-out runner. Third baseman Sean Convoy is in there. Last 2 times he's been in, he has struck out. Looks at one at the knees for a called strike. Runner goes, fouled off to the right side. Once again, 0-2. 3rd out of 4 batters been behind 0-2. Misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. Runner goes again. This one wrapped into right field between the first baseman and the second baseman. That will send Elijah Hart around to third. The ball gets away, and Elijah will come down to score. So they at least get one more on the board. Convoy with a base hit moves down to second base on the error. And Elijah Hart on his horse with the pitch gets all the way around to score, and that makes it now 7-3. So 3 runs across now for the Tucson Champs on 8 hits. Up to the top of the order, Jacob Federico, who is 0 for 3, did get a walk and came around to score in the first inning. But since that time has been offensively quiet. He is the extra hitter in the lineup tonight. Inside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. First base is open. Graybosch in center field is swung around to right center and extremely shallow. Big swing and nothing but air on that one. Still have not identified the player in right field. In left field, Seth Nager at a standard depth and straight away. Couple of outs. 1 run in, that on the outside corner. 2-2, 2 outs. At the set is Kiko Morales. This one fouled off into the stands on the right field side. So we'll stay at 2-2, 6th pitch of the at-bat. So the Tucson Champs scored 2 in the first and have been quiet until just now when they scored 1 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Off-speed pitch down and away, waved at, and that will be a strikeout. So the second strikeout of this brief appearance for Kiko Romero, and that will end the ball game. 1 across in the bottom of the 9th. So our final score will be 7-3. We'll check on some of the scores in the outlying areas here. We gave you that final Kings over Team Tucson 15-5. And we are going to the top of the 9th with the Aztecs on top of the Rincon Knights by a count of 9-3. Here it was the BNL Rockets giving away 2 in the bottom of the first inning, but countering with 2 in the top of the second. Then they got 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 1 in the 9th to wind up with 7. Tucson Champs unable to get anything across since the first inning. Did squeeze one over here in the bottom of the 9th and wind up on the short end of a 9-3 count. So that is about the end of it here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. Looking at the Tucson Champs on the short end of a 7-3 count to the BNL Rockets. The Kings, as I mentioned, came up with a 15-5 victory over Team Tucson. So that is a mild upset. The Kings only 4 wins on the season, get their 5th, and I will suspect, although there have been times, that the Aztecs will come up on top of the Rincon Knights. The Knights really struggling. I take that back. The Kings were the ones that were struggling. They had lost 8 in a row, so they break that skid and come up with a victory here tonight against the Team Tucson. Looking forward to tomorrow is going to be a day off, of course, but on Thursday here at the stadium will be the Cochise Stars against the Old Pueblo Kings. And the other game out in the South Fields, we'll only have 2 on Thursday evening. Team Tucson against the same BNL Rockets. So the Rockets move up to an 11-5 record. We're going to assume that the Aztecs will win that one, and they're going to go up to 14-3. So the Rockets will still be 2.5 games back. The Cochise Stars were idle tonight. Team Tucson came up with a loss, so they are 8-7 on the year. The Tucson Champs lose here, and they are 5-12. The old Pueblo Kings get their 5th win of the season and break an 8-game losing streak, and they are now 5-11. And the Rincon Knights more than likely will come up on the short end of the ball game that is just finishing up, and so they will go to 13 losses, 3-13, and remain in the cellar. Well, the final line score tonight, as the BNL Rockets pound out 11 hits and get 7 runs, while the Tucson Champs 3-8-1. Now, they did chalk up an error for BNL on that last play, but quite frankly, it's very refreshing after seeing several error-filled games here at the Kino Stadium that each team only got 1 error tonight. Well, that's it from Kino, Veterans Memorial Stadium. Once again, inviting you to be here on the 4th of July because they really put on quite a show here and an opportunity for a very inexpensive price to be able to come to the stadium. It's just $4. The gates will open at 5 o'clock, and that'll be dollar hot dog night and all kinds of great things going on. If you buy an advance ticket, you can buy it here at the stadium or at Pizza Hut, Food City, the Cactus Bowling Alley, or at the offices of the Kino Sports Complex. At any rate, if you buy an advance ticket, you will get free parking. So keep that in mind. July 4th, there'll be 8,000 to 10,000 people here, and the draw, not only the 7-inning All-Star game and all the inexpensive concession foods and giveaways and things like that, but what is even more spectacular is the outstanding fireworks show that Pima County puts on. It runs 25 to 30 minutes, and you will enjoy it. That's it from Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium on behalf of the Sun Belt Summer Baseball Collegiate League. This is Alan Scott saying good night.